we want to create a new component, guys. Let's create a new component. NGGC, I just call this as error. Now, a problem here is, what if user types anything that he wish? Right? So he may type anything, or maybe it may be an invalid URL. So ideally, what has to happen? When he types anything wrong, we should redirect user, or we should show a component called as which component?
Error page, error component.
Error component. But how do we know that user has entered something invalid that is not matching with this? If it is matching with this, you will display that respective component. So we should do, that means we should display component content when user enters some path that is not matching with any of the above. And then what we do is, we use something called as wildcard character. We use wildcard character. Wildcard character is represented by using 2 stars. Alright, and then here component. What is the component that we have? Error component. Alright, now let's enter something else. You see, you get the contents of what? Error component. And when you are placing these routes, remember, order of these routes important. You should always place this at the end. The order of the routes is important, as Angular applies routes in order and uses the first match it finds. Right? Any route that doesn't match any of these paths will go here. So that is where you should always place this at the end. Is that clear, guys?
Yes.
Alright, so next, what we want to do is, I would like to create a new component again, but this time we want to make that component as part of a different module. Alright, so let's, sorry, NGGM, I call this as what? Employee module. Right, now what do we want? So we want to create a component, right, called as, let's say, employee list component or dashboard component, and that will be part of which one? Let's make that as part of employee module. So ngGC employee slash, let's call this as dashboard. So dashboard is made as part of which module? Employee module. Now what I do is, let's go to dashboard. Welcome to employee dashboard. Alright, and then in our app component, let's place a link for which one? Dashboard. Dashboard. Now dashboard is part of which module? Employee module. So one option we have is import which module? Employee module. And then here path dashboard component, dashboard component. Component is dashboard component. Now let's go here. We get this. Now if I click on this dashboard, we get the employee dashboard. We get the employee dashboard. But the problem here is loading of this module. Problem is what, guys? Loading of the module. Now what is the problem? Assume that I have a large application and that application has 10 modules. If I import it here, what will happen? When my app module is loaded, you are importing a module also called as which module in this context? Employee module. If there are 10 modules and if I write all those 10 modules here, then what will happen? All 10 modules will be loaded. When which module is loaded? When which module is loaded, guys?
App module.
Employee module get loaded.
Alright. So if I have 10 modules specified here, all those 10 modules will be loaded when app module is loaded. But don't you think that has a problem? It will have an impact on the application performance, right? It will have. an impact on the application performance, right? Why? Because first time application will take how much time? First time application will take huge time. Why?
Loading all components.
It has to,
Loading all modules.
it has to load all the modules. And you load all the modules, assume that user is and resulting login is loaded. Is there any guarantee that user will go to dashboard for sure? Is there a guarantee that user will go to?
No.
There is no guarantee that user will go to dashboard. And resulting that, what is happening? You are loading all the modules, and at the same time, you are not very sure that user will use them. User will use them. Now, what do we want to do is, we don't want to load all the modules. We don't want to load all the modules. When which module is loaded? When app module is loaded. I want to basically load employee module when user clicks on what? Dashboard. I want to load the modules on demand. We want to load the modules on demand. This is called as what, guys?
Lazy loading.
Lazy loading. Alright. Note down some notes, guys. By default, NG modules are eagerly loaded. This means that as soon as the application loads, as soon as the application loads, all the NG modules will also be loaded. whether they are immediately necessary or not. For large applications, with lots of routes, consider lazy loading. Lazy loading is a design pattern Lazy loading is a design pattern that loads ng modules as needed. Lazy loading helps keep initial bundle sizes smaller. Keep initial bundle sizes smaller. Which in turn helps helps to decrease load times. Alright, so now we want to do that. So when we want to do that, so basically what we do is, let's not import employee module. If you cannot import employee module, this will not work. This will not work. This will throw you an error. This will throw you an error basically. Still that change is not saved. So what we do is, there is something called as what? Load children. Then we say import what has to be imported, which module has to be imported, guys? Employee slash employee dot module dot, there is then method. Using then that file may contain multiple modules. In that you specify which module, employee module. If it is dashboard, load these children. So do not specify it here. You're not going to specify it there. Then in the employee module.ts, then in the employee module.ts, so what we do is, we say const path. If it is empty, component, what is the component? Dashboard component. Right? And then, so what should we do as? As you see here, you go home, you get it. It needs. There is a reason why you are getting error, because you don't have a parameter called as name, resulting you are not able to get it. But now if you go to dashboard, are we getting the contents of the dashboard? We are not getting the contents of the dashboard. What is the reason? Reason is you have to load these routes. So how do we load them? Router module dot. This time it will not be for root. These are child routes that are part of that module. So what we do is we pass them. You see, you get it. Welcome to employee dashboard. Now within this, you may have child navigation. Within this, you may have child navigation. Now let's go to dashboard component. A router link is equals to slash create. Right now, that component doesn't exist, resulting you are not able to get it. Is that clear, guys?
Can you tell me how does the error works? I mean, it's only keeping the error page. It will
There is
automatically
no
read it.
component called as. Basically, see, it's a single page application. You don't have multiple pages. Everything is done using one page only. So let it be displaying the content of your error component or anything. Whenever any error occurs, right? So you're trying to.
So if you mention star, it will automatically consider it as a error page.
No. If it is not matching with any of this, then it goes there. Now when I click on home, why is it not matching? Because home, if you see the bottom left hand side of the browser, it is just a slash home. But there you have how many segments? You are expecting 2 segments, but you are passing only 1. So it becomes invalid. So it will not match with this. So it will go down. Resulting at the end it reaches this.
Okay. Is it possible to make it as an optional?
Yes, you can make a parameter also as optional.
Okay, how do I do it?
Alright, so you answer me in the next class. How do you do that? If any one of you has some programming knowledge, you can easily identify. Can anyone tell me how do you make any parameter as optional? General, in maybe in the respective programming language, you know.
Generally, we'll assign as a from default string we'll assign.
Right? How do you do that, guys?
By using question mark. Question mark.
by using
Question mark.
question mark. Alright. So when you add question mark at the end of your respective data type, then that will make it as what? Optional. Alright, now what if I wanna do that in Angular? Is what you have to find it out. Is that assignment clear, guys?
Yes.
Sir, I just have one doubt. Like, why in the load children part import and then on top of that, why should we write that then condition? Like import by itself will not load the module.
Import?
No, I mean the app module.ts, the load children that are a function we have written, right? So like, why do we need that dot then again? That import alone will not load it.
So this file may contain multiple classes, right?
Okay, but
This
we
is
are
the
loading
file.
the module, right?
See, if you observe, I'm loading this forms module. I'm importing the forms module here. But before I do this, what are we doing first?
We are importing it from the Angular forms.
And then this is the file, right? In which your
Okay.
class is there, right? So first it should be a file, and then that module.
Okay, that is a class name.
Yes, this is the class name, and here what do you pass?
Okay, got it. Employee.module.ts is the file. Then from that we are loading the employee
This
module
is-
class.
Exactly. Right, that is what it was showing, right? So when I was writing that, right, you see, all these are, it represents what? Your folder structure.
So
Folder
it's just
structure.
kind of a different
This is
syntax. Okay, like it's just kind of a different syntax from what we have written on the top, like import from.
Instead of, I was not doing the import here, right? So you have to first import it, on click of that, then this module.
Oh, yeah, okay, got it. Thank you, sir.
Is this clear, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Can you please open employee module.ts also once more, sir? Employee.module, like where the routing is happening in the employee module, just for checking.
In feature modules, you will use child routes and root module will have this for root. Root module will have this for root. Feature modules will have what?
Child,
For
for child.
Is that clear?
Yes.
Now note down an assignment, please. Now the assignment is simple. Now we are going to employee component, right? That is part of employee module, or dashboard component, that is part of employee module. Now in that dashboard, assume that you display table of employees. Means in the dashboard by default you display table of employees. And table contains rows, and in each row you're displaying employee data, and then at the end there is something called as edit. You will have what? Edit or delete. Now if I click on that edit, so what you have to do? You have to take me to a component called as which component? Edit component. But to that edit component you also have to pass ID. So it should be like this, /edit/ which one? ID. This is how you define your route. So now when I click on that link, my router link should be able to get, this is static, and it should also get what? ID, corresponding row ID you have to pass. Is that clear, guys, what I am asking? And then you pass that to edit component. In the edit component you have to read ID value, get the employee data, and display for edit so that user may make changes and update. Is the assignment clear, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Alright. So with that, we stop here for the day. We are not yet done with the concept of routing. We will continue this in the next class. That will be on next Saturday, guys.